morning, folks. This is Coffee with Community Services, Alta California Regional Center's weekly service provider meeting. Today is September 13th, 2024. We've got 56 folks on right now. And we will do our introductions and get into our agenda for the day. So, again, good morning. And let's see, we have Jason on, who is our lead community services specialist from Community Services. Let's see, we've got Alejandra and Shauna on as well. And we've got Christy on, good morning, and Rhonda too, good morning from Community Services. I see Christine and Tom and Hubert. And my assistant Zach is on. Good morning, Zach. Let's see, I see Carly, good morning. And I see from Client Services, our Client Services Manager Carol Wilhelm is on. And Michael Mercado is on as well, who you will hear from shortly. And we have Dee Dee from Community Services on, and Jaslyn, good morning. And I see our manager Michelle is here, good morning too. And I see Yvette, good morning Yvette. And from Client Services, I see Christina Lane, residential manager, good morning. And then our manager Helen is on, and Beverly from Community Services. And our managers, Jordan and Scott, are on as well. And Scott's got a special day today for Scott, September 13th, his birthday. We're not going to sing, Scott. Don't worry about that. We do have Camellia on, though, and she is the one that we choose for singing when we do have these opportunities. So we have Camellia on, our Director of Intake and Clinical Services as well. And Toby. Good morning, Toby. All right. Intensive Case Management Unit. All right, so getting into our agenda for today, we are going to do our sign of the week and our Deaf Culture 101. We are going to have a special guest presentation from Kibu. We are going to go over the new social recreation directive that came out. We are going to throw it over to Hubert for some updates from our emergency coordinator. We're going to give a little update as it relates to the change over at Alta to our new Atlas system. Speaking with our accounting department, and we'll give you an update on that. And then we will have H and Z Home Care do a spotlight. And we've got some upcoming vendor forums, and we've got DSP Recognition Week. And so I would like it if folks would be interested, and you can put it in the chat. But I would love to hear if you did anything at your companies to recognize the amazing DSPs that work for you. I would love to hear it. I would love to hear any service providers share about the things that you may have done this week to recognize those awesome direct support professionals that work for you. So see if we can get to that too towards the end of our agenda. And if there's other things that folks want to talk about, we can certainly add that too. We don't have much of an update as it relates to things like the service provider directory, but we can answer anyone's questions. So with that, I am going to spotlight Michael Mercado and ask him to take it away.
Perfect. Hello. Hi, good morning, everybody. Make sure you can see me all right. Okay, sign of the week. Now it's fall, so we could do some fall signs. So it'll be cool, leaves or leaves falling. So we'll start with fall. So you're gonna have your dominant hand and then your weaker side. Dominant hand is going to be in the B hand shape and is going to swipe downwards. Yep, so that's fall. So today's the start of fall. Now cool. Yep, so it's hot right now, but soon it will become cool. And then for leaves falling, so you want to picture a tree, you have the leaf is your dominant hand. Non-dominant is the branch, so it's kind of like the leaf connected to the twig, it breaks off, and then it floats down. Awesome. Good job, everyone. Okay, now Deaf Culture 101. this month is actually Deaf Awareness Month. So we want to spotlight and recognize deaf community, the culture, deaf pride, and get a chance to discuss some of that. And we'll talk about what's new for us in the deaf community, the diversity and the dynamics. So if you see any deaf content on social media, there's different videos, different content. I'll send you 3 accounts that I would recommend you watch. One of them is hashtag why I sign. That's good for people who are interested in why individuals learn American Sign Language. Maybe they learn because they have a deaf family member, a deaf child, maybe they're interested in deaf education. The second account is at Deaf Signing Therapy. So that will explain if there's a child that is deaf or hard of hearing, if they go through speech therapy and sign language at the same time, why that is beneficial, instead of just learning speech, and how that acquisition of language is so beneficial for a child. So that's Rising Sign Therapies. Then the third one is a Spanish family. It's deaf parents, deaf children, and what their life looks like as a family. It's very representative for people of color. And really, those 3 accounts, I really encourage you to look at, and there's many more. That last one is That Deaf Family, and that will really help you for your providers, your vendors, or just to have a better grasp on how to communicate with consumers. And then now I want to talk about a really cool tool, actually 2 that we have. So Apple just released, the new iPhone, AirPods, and so on. Regarding the Apple AirPods, it's the 4th generation that they just announced. There's a new feature that they can almost act like hearing aids, which is a completely new idea. It's more affordable than your typical hearing aid. Those will typically, for one hearing aid, will be $1,000 to about $4,000 for one. Insurance typically will not cover hearing aids, meaning sometimes you get hearing aids for free, but then if they break, trying to afford a replacement is very difficult. So having these AirPods that could be considered as hearing aids, I'm looking forward to see if they work or not, but it's a very cool tool that they have. You can set up a hearing test on your phone through the AirPods, and it can show you your level of hearing. So that might be easier than having to go to an audiologist to get that exam and then maybe get hearing aids. Sometimes they don't work or you have difficulties and you have to go back. So having that technology readily available is amazing. And it's an opportunity for more affordable, a more affordable device that could be like hearing aids. Then about captions, Netflix and Disney Plus, there might be some consumers who struggle with English, but now they actually have, it's called ASL captions. So with the show, you'll see a person in the corner actually signing during the show. So it can be really beneficial for consumers who don't read well or for children. It's a new feature that was just released. The goal is to see that on all shows, having the ASL captions in the corner. And then something happening with deaf culture now. So, we have plays or theater that we might see. There's deaf theater. If any of you have an opportunity in Los Angeles, California, it's called Deaf West Theater. If you wanted to check that out, there's a show going on October 2nd to November 10th. So deaf and hearing actors will do songs and do a show together. I'll send the link and maybe you would have the opportunity to go. So that's all I have to discuss for today. Hopefully you'll be able to look at some of the deaf content and be able to learn a little more. And maybe you can post and share with everyone what you learned from your research. Thank you, everybody.
Excellent. Thank you, Michael, as always. Excellent. Thank you. All right. Any questions for Michael? He's going to put the information in the chat for you that he just shared. All right, Daniel, you're up next, and you're a co-host, so you should be able to share your screen, and I'll introduce you. So, I let my managers know about this a little bit, and maybe folks are frantically typing Kibu into their Google search bars right now to figure out what Kibu is. But I had an opportunity to interact with Daniel and hear a little bit about Kibu, and thought that since we have so many of you that are interested in new and innovative ways to support our clients, and are interested in Alta's efforts to support, technology and assistive technology in homes, that this would be something you might be interested in as well. So Daniel's got, I guess, kind of three different things to talk with you about, but we're gonna give him about 10-15 minutes here so that he can kind of go over Kibu with you. Go ahead, Daniel.
Awesome. Thank you, John. And as I understand, I could do like maybe 5 minutes on the content side, ask a couple questions, 5 minutes on the admin tooling side, ask a couple questions. No more than 15 minutes total.
There we go.
All right. I'm going to jump in and share my screen because I think it always gives it a little more color than me just talking about it. But along the way, like, feel free to jump in. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna just keep the chat open on the side. So if anyone has any messages along the way, I'm gonna keep an eye on it. And yeah, I'll just do my normal demo. But message me in the chat. Tell me you love it. Tell me you hate it. Anything along the way. I don't want it to be boring. So on this content side of the platform, what we offer is live streams every single day, 350 plus on-demand classes that are recreational, life skills, and job development classes, and lesson plans that go along with all of our life skills and job development classes to help you guys do what you do best, like deliver the best possible services to the folks you work with. And I'll click through and show you a little bit about each one of these things. So for one, our live stream classes are in the top right corner. If I click into that, you'll see some of the live streams coming up the next few days. And we have at least 2 every single day, sometimes 3 live streams. The names might sound a little intimidating, like hip hop dance and cardio kickboxing, but I promise you it's for all abilities. You could be in a wheelchair, you could have super low mobility, it's for everyone. We send these calendars out before every single month so you can fill in your daily schedules. And these classes are so much fun. I can't recommend them enough. The coaches will actually shout you out, will shout out your program, will say people's names, will correct their forms. It's such a great addition to add to your programs because everyone loves like hearing their name. It's just really, really engaging. If you can't join one of these live stream times, that's totally fine. We also have hundreds of on-demand classes that are accessible 24/7. So if I jump back for a second to the homepage, you'll see the latest releases that we've made. There's mental health explained, reframe game where you're changing a negative sentence into a positive sentence to change the way you're thinking, some dance classes. But if you're looking for specific type of classes, you could use these tabs at the top. So if you're looking for a dance class, you click dance. If you're looking for a life skills class, you click life skills, which I can imagine might be very helpful for a lot of day hubs and for staff members. And some of these are dating advice, online safety, social media safety, using rideshare, how to register to vote, that's coming up soon. Good hygiene, like how to call, going grocery shopping, using a debit card. We're always adding more here based on feedback from disability providers that we work with already and individuals themselves. There's also job classes for like pre-voc settings if anyone teaches employment type classes. There's applying for a job online, writing a resume, giving back change, speaking to customers. We're always adding more here too. And then all these other categories: general fitness, martial arts, yoga, mindfulness, enrichment in arts, sports, entertainment, enrichment, brain games. We're always adding more. Actually, I want to show something on the enrichment and arts section that's been super popular is these draw with me classes. And what that looks like if I jump into one of them is you would see an attachment down at the bottom. So you can actually go and click into that attachment and print out a whole bunch of these. And then as the artist in the class is coloring it in and drawing it in and explaining what she's doing, all your folks will be doing it at the same time. And a lot of providers have really loved these sessions. So we made some a little more complicated, some a little easier, some with different mediums, but they've been really well received. And I'll try to go quickly too, because I know I don't want to spend so much time. There's a filter button where you can sort by like duration for like level, how long the classes are, by experience, whether it's for high support or lower support individuals, whether you are looking for seated classes. I also want to show that there's also lesson plans on every single one of the life skills and job development classes. I mentioned that before. So if I go and find a life skills class like going grocery shopping, if I jump into that, you'll see there's a button that says open lesson plan. So if I click into that, you'd actually be able to print this out or use it on the side. They're all structured in a very similar way, where there's a preface, objective, duration, suggested materials, lesson outline. It'll go through the video for a section of it. There'll be some instructional questions and prompts. Thank you, Michelle. This is great. Thank you. There's some fun and silly questions just to drive engagement. A community integration idea, which I know is very important for all of you, is now practice what you've been learning on, in this case, going grocery shopping, and bring it into the community and try applying what you've learned. And then we take feedback on our lesson plans. But what we've heard from 100 disability providers that we're working with right now is that being a DSP, being a staff member is a pretty overwhelming job. You might not know what to do every single day. You might not be an expert in hundreds of different topics. Being able to lean on a resource like this has been really helpful for them. And it has the added benefit of making teaching at the organization a little more uniform. You're not teaching 5 different ways to go grocery shopping or wash your hands or whatever the topic might be. You're teaching one happy path that might be a little easier for the folks that you're working with. And I'll close out of that. And we also have interactive mode, which I think is pretty cool. It'll play a minute of the class and it'll pop up a multiple choice question. And then whether you got it right or wrong, it explains why it was right or wrong. It goes on with the rest of the class. That pops up another multiple choice question. So you can imagine it's a really cool back and forth session between staff members and the folks that you're working with. And then we always have up next and related videos. And I know I'm speeding right through this, but just to summarize everything again, live on this content side, live streams every single day, multiple times per day. You can join in every single one of them. Hundreds of on-demand classes that are recreational, life skills, job development classes, and then lesson plans to go along with all the life skills and job development classes to help you guys deliver the best possible services. I'm seeing just comments popping up in the comments. There's no questions yet, but just impressive. Fantastic. Thank you. It's always appreciated.
I have a question, Daniel.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we are presenting this because we at the Regional Center are very interested in the possibility of directly working on a vendorization with Kibu so that we could offer this to our clients and families directly. However, that you have a model currently that exists where you work directly with disability agencies for them to be able to have a subscription to be able to utilize this. Would you mind explaining that for folks a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm actually just going to send my link in here if anyone wants like a direct demo and answer like a little more granular questions specific to your organization, because it does like change depending on the organization. But for content like this side of the platform, if you're interested in that, we do have location-based pricing where if it's a commercial location or day have location, it's one rate. If you have residential group homes, it's another rate. And it covers all access. Like you could join every single one of those live streams. You could join every single one of the on-demand classes. And it's meant to be an extremely, extremely affordable rate. It's a little bit of a sales trick on our side is we give you all this content for you to be able to use and like using your platform so that you add it to your routine. You start using us every day. It becomes part of your weekly routine. So that one of these days we can get you over to our admin tooling side of the dashboard, which I'll show you in a moment. And that'll be a little more expensive because that's all the attendance, data, note taking, goal tracking, reporting, etc. that providers typically use to support their billing backups. Or just reporting. This is great.
And real quickly, and I want to clarify for folks that we're not doing this necessarily as a sales advertisement for you all today. I wanted to bring these folks here so that you could give your feedback as to whether or not this is something, because you guys are currently not working at all in California, right?
Sorry, say that again.
You guys are currently not working at all in the state of California, right?
We are not working at all in the state of California.
And so with that, folks, one of the things I said is, we have a very active chat here. So if you could provide some feedback as to whether or not this sounds like something that, you would encourage us to share with our service providers, like this is something that our service providers may be interested in possibly using as a resource for their programming. If you wouldn't mind just throwing that in the chat for these guys, I think that would be very helpful for us to just get an idea. And my staff, please feel free to weigh in as well. You guys work with a lot of programs. So just, again, wanted to give them this platform. And then I saw a question in the chat from Michael about, I think it was closed captioning.
We do have closed captioning on all of our classes, and that was an important point that John brought up. It's like, this is not any sales thing, it's just, if you're interested at all, just throw a yes in the chat, and we're trying to get some feedback here. This is Priscilla with It's a Breeze, and this is phenomenal. We do have relationship classes, so things like dating advice or just interpersonal skills, how to properly say no if someone comes up to you, personal space explain, those types of classes that are like more relational based. And we're always taking feedback for our classes too on the content side. If anyone reaches out to us and says, hey, we want more interpersonal skills, or hey, we want a bowling class because we go bowling once a week, it'd be great to have a class on what to expect. We're happy to produce that. We're adding 2 to 5 new classes every single week, so we're always adding more based on your feedback. I'm gonna stop on this content side because I probably already spent a little too long. I'm gonna jump over to the admin tooling side now. And what our intention was on this admin tooling side is to be a lot simpler than probably all the systems you've seen before. We're not a big clunky EHR. We're a tool that's meant to do all the attendance, note-taking, data, goal tracking, reporting, specifically for disability providers to operate in a way simpler way, specifically for staff members and administrators. So I'm going to jump over and show you that. For one, when you log in, you're going to be prompted with your notes to complete. Optimally, this is going to say 0. You want to be in 100% compliance. As an administrator, you would see what programs you have are missing notes, and you can actually click in and see which staff members are missing notes. So you could see, oh, this staff member is in compliance, this staff member is in compliance, this staff member has 8 missing notes. Let me go talk with that staff member and say, why is that going on? Let me make sure that's in complete compliance. It's just a really easy way. As a staff member, you're going to log in and you're going to see which notes you actually have to complete still. You can also go in to a certain groups. You can set up different groups for Dayhab and Prevoke or whatever settings you might have, and keep track of groups over here. My service is a little slow, so it's going to show a little slow, but you can go and check people in. That starts timekeeping attendance for them, and it'll show actually total time, rounded time, 15-minute intervals. You can download all this information for attendance. A cool thing we do on the note-taking side is it'll show it very visually whether notes are complete. It'll show 100% complete, 100% complete. This one might say 90-something% complete. So you can click in and see which staff member didn't complete notes for which individuals. You could, final thing we do on the note-taking side is that we set automatic reminders. So like, let's say at 6 p.m. every day, you want to know whether all these notes are complete. You could get an automatic reminder to go to that staff member and the admin above them saying, hey, the staff member didn't complete notes for these 3 individuals that there was an attendance record for. Go make sure it's complete. So between the visual cues, those automatic reminders, and that homepage that shows you how many notes are missing, you should be at 100% compliance, which is so important. I know sometimes if you get audited, there might be a 2% error rate. That is a pretty big deal. So being able to say you're in complete compliance is a really strong thing for these providers that we work with. We've done a couple of cool things that I want to show you on our note-taking process. And there's this concept called quick notes, where you can just go and say, hey, Athena practiced her interpersonal skills during dance class today. And that could just be a quick note. And this is the intention of making things a lot easier for staff members throughout the day. They're doing so much, they can't take like a really long detailed note. They could just speak into the phone. They could just take a picture as their quick note. The coolest thing is now when I'm going to go complete the note for Athena, you could reference all those quick notes on the left side. And again, those could be pictures that we speaking into the phone for the staff members, so that when you're actually taking that final note for the day, you can reference everything that happened throughout the day with any staff members that interacted with Athena in a way that you wouldn't have been able to before in other systems. You could set up different templates here too. So you could have one for Prevoke, one for, or they have one for whatever you want. And then the coolest thing is that it ties in with Athena's actual life plan goals. So whatever data you got here, you can show in reports for Athena. And I'll show you what that looks like really quickly. If I jump over to Athena's profile, you'll see anything, any quick notes or actual notes here. You'll see reports that show her notes, her attendance record, her time tracking log. You can store files for her, but what you could show basic information, medical history, emergency contacts. What I wanted to show though is these life plan goals. Anything you add here is what can be tracked on that daily information, and you could generate reports for it. So if I go and build this report, it's going to take a second, but then you could show bar charts and line charts showing improvement and tracking over time for those specific life plan goals. So you can go and show a parent or caregiver that you're actually following the goals that you set in your annual reviews for Athena and saying, hey, she's doing great. You can see the raw data for it. You can sort by different date ranges. So you have these custom reports effectively at your fingertips at all times, showing progress for each individual. And I think I'm going to pause there. There's a lot more you can do, but what effectively it's a much simpler, more intuitive system to do all your day-to-day tracking. It's not one of those bigger clunky or EHRs. And same thing on the content side, that we make custom content for you. If you come up to us with feedback, we're a full in-house tech team. We're a full startup dedicated to disability providers. You can reach out to us and say, hey, I'd love a new way to track this, or I'd love a new input field here. We're always happy to code that and develop it for you. We're fully HIPAA compliant. We do it really well, and I think we're a really good partner when we work with groups. And I'll stop my screen share and pass it back to John. And yeah, like you said before, if anyone wants to message into the chat and say you're interested in this, we're just gathering feedback. They are two separate. It's all included in one platform, but like, even if you're not interested in that admin tooling side and you're just interested in the content, that's totally fine. If you're not interested in the content, you're interested in the admin tooling, that's totally fine. If you're interested in both, that's even better.
Now, if they choose the admin tool, do you give them a discount on the videos on the other side of it?
If you choose the admin tooling, you actually get the content side included.
Oh,
If-
really? Oh, okay. We didn't
don't
talk
want
about that
that-
before.
If you don't want the admin tooling side, you could just get the content as its own package, and that one's super affordable. We'll never even talk to you about the admin tooling side. We don't want to bother you on that.
All right, folks. Well, our plan right now is Kibu is going to be submitting a letter of interest for us to get vendored with the regional center. Some of you are familiar with our assistive technology pilot, and I had an opportunity to talk with these guys, and good to see Sam on here too, and be able to talk with these guys about the product, and then just the ways in which it aligns with the assistive technology pilot that Rhonda's been working on so much, and being able to possibly add this for folks that are out living independently that might want to have these types of options. And I was mentioning, but I push and push and push so much for in-person services for folks, and trying to ensure that we've got all of these great opportunities for teaching in person. But I also recognize that we're going to be approaching 32,000 clients here that have a lot of different types of support needs, and also we've got a lot of different service providers. And so if this can be a support for you as service providers, we'd encourage you. We're going to keep our relationship up with Kibu. And I saw Jay on here. He's, I think, but he may have had to click off. He's one of our pilot members for the assistive technology pilot. But we might get you guys to come out to California maybe if we get another CCLN conference next year, where we do another technology kind of sub conference. Maybe we can get you guys out as well. So their contact information, I'm hoping you guys have it all in the chat already, but obviously their website too. So drop your guys' contact information in the chat, and then certainly you guys are welcome to reach out to them directly. But really, I just kind of wanted to get a feel for folks whether or not this is something that they would be interested in, possibly, or would they feel like this is something that Kibu should really be looking at offering to other areas throughout California. So, and let's see here. Oh, okay, we're good. All right, and any other questions for these folks? All right, so two things: the admin, and then also obviously we'll have access to all of those awesome videos. I am going to now throw it over to Hubert if he is ready. And Hubert, you had an opportunity to travel. I heard fabulous responses back about September 6th when you were up in Tahoe. Would you mind sharing just a little bit about that, what you got to do up there too, if you don't mind, please?
Sure. Yeah. Well, happy Friday, everyone. My name is Hubert Enriquez. For those of you that do not know me, I am the emergency response coordinator for Alta California Regional Center. And one of my roles as the emergency coordinator is to distribute and provide, outreach and educational resources to a bunch of our vendors. So, earlier this month, I was able to go to Elevation Day program in Truckee, and I was able to distribute about 13 emergency Go Kits for free and provide an emergency Go Kit workshop. So I've been able to do this. We have been allocated about 532 emergency go kits that go to clients of the regional center that live in high fire areas, right? So right now we have been able to distribute just a little under 300 go kits so far. So past the halfway point. And yeah, yesterday I was able to distribute about 72 go kits to Pride Industries in Yuba City. Pride, I thought I saw you here in the Zoom call. So
I I got to my office in Yuba City this morning and I just saw no Monday and there was a bunch of boxes everywhere. I'm like, what
yes,
is this? What
yes,
pallet did we
yes,
receive? And
yeah,
then today I saw all the bags in there in the morning. So
right,
yes,
yeah,
they are definitely distributed and there is a lot. So thank
awesome.
you.
Cool. Oh, there I am. So yeah, as you can see, these trainings can range from about 6 people, very intimate setting, to a presentation of 70 plus people. So if you are a provider in a high fire area, tier 2 or tier 3, identified by CAL FIRE, please feel free to reach out to me. I'll leave my contact information in the chat. And without further ado, thank you, Mehdi, by the way. But without further ado, I just wanted to kind of provide some updates to everyone on this call about September being National Preparedness Month, right? So this month specifically, and every other month actually throughout the year, I just kind of want to remind you guys to start the conversation of emergency preparedness with the people that we support, your friends, your family, and kind of just making it like a regular topic of discussion, right? So I know for a lot of the people and individuals that we support, talking about emergencies or disasters can be very, very stressful and overstimulating at times. But with that being said, if we kind of do our due diligence to make it a regular conversation, talk about it when in a calm environment, and maybe even create an activity out of it, that would be the best strategic approach. And 4 ways that we can actually, I guess, celebrate this campaign of National Preparedness Month this month. The first one being is staying informed, right? Staying informed of different emergency case scenarios or disasters that happen locally and throughout the state. A way that we can do that, and John, I'm not sure if I am able to share my screen here. Oh, here we go.
Yeah, we can make you a co-host to share, no problem.
You're good.
Please, thank you. Perfect. Just a little resource that I kind of want to share with everyone to kind of get started on signing up for alerts is going to calalerts.org right here. And then on the top right corner, you could just sign up.
We're not
By your
seeing your screen. Sorry to interrupt you, Hubert. We're just not seeing your screen.
No, not to worry. I see what I did there. Okay.
Perfect. It's coming up now.
Sounds good. Thanks, Jordan. Yeah, just go to calalerts.org, and then on the top right corner, you could click sign up, and you could actually sign up by your county. Right. If you guys need help finding this page, is also on our emergency preparedness webpage on our website. But you could just sign up locally for local alerts that could be sent to your phone. Real-time updates taken from local jurisdictions, local law enforcement, fire departments, and even your local OES. Secondly, make an emergency evacuation plan, right? With your friends, your family, your neighbors even. Identify a rendezvous point. Something that I have been kind of pushing and promoting and handing out at our vendor fairs is this document here. It's a great way, it's a great start, foundational document to kind of list 3 to 4 different contacts, at least someone that lives out of your local area, just in the event that an emergency impacts, your local county, your local state, your local city, you're able to evacuate and have a point of contact out of town. And then I could also drop the link in the chat as well with how you can access all of these documents. The next step is building a Go Kit, right? I know building a Go Kit can be pretty difficult at times, but try your best to make it customizable to yourself and your specific needs. Right? I know everyone has specific dietary needs, medical needs, and even preferences on what they think that can make them last in a survival environment for up to 3 days. So this is a document with just basic information and supplies that can be kind of used as a checklist. But again, Go kits can be placed anywhere in your home, in your office, basically where you spend most of your time throughout the day. In the event of emergency, you just have a bag with everything in it that is ready to go. And before I let you guys go, the last step is just getting involved with your community, right? Again, just starting that conversation with your friends and family. You know, if you're part of any social groups in your community, mentioning it like, I know there are groups that I've reached out to and clients that I've worked with in our outlying counties, in our mountainous counties that, have created like a fire club where, they kind of just talk about fire prevention and awareness, which is, I think, really, really cool. But yeah, and just getting involved, seeing what community-based organizations are out there that are geared towards emergency preparedness. But that's it, guys. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Hubert. Any questions? Please, and I think his information should be in the chat there, but please reach out to him. He'll put his email there because he wants to be able to come out and do that same visit like he got to do up in Tahoe. All right. Real quickly, as I mentioned before, we meet. We always meet with our accounting department before we update our service providers. We had an opportunity to meet with Robin LeMay, our accounting manager, this morning. And just a reminder, we are in a process right now of switching over some of our computer systems at the regional center. And with that, as it relates to purchase of service, if there's any issues that you are encountering as it relates to authorizations for services as a service provider, please make sure that you follow the typical process. First, communicate with the service coordinator to verify that a POS has been entered, a purchase of service has been entered. If the service coordinator has been able to verify that was done, and you still are not able to see your authorization, then we need you to contact your assigned fiscal assistant. So just wanted to throw that out there. We've not heard of issues going on. I will say that we are really concerned and want to make sure that we don't have any issues with any authorizations for you all. So please follow that if you can. And with that, I am going to throw it over to HNZ Home Care. And I think I made you a co-host if you want to share your screen, but you certainly don't need to.
Hi. Hi, do you hear me?
We can hear you perfectly. Thank you. Go ahead,
Oh,
Zaid.
okay, perfect. Yeah, hi everybody. My name is Zaid, Z-A-I-D. I'm from H&Z Home Care Agency. I'm a new vendor with the Alta Regional Center for the personal attended. I have actually caregivers. They are bilingual for a specific language like Arabic and Farsi. Some coordinator, maybe they needed the help for Arabic people or Farsi they are speak. I can provide them caregivers. They are speak language Arabic and Farsi, and Spanish also I have it as well, English. Also there is that we are cover our operation in the Sacramento, all the Sacramento County, and also in Roseville, Rockland, Lincoln, and West Sacramento and Folsom. If you don't mind, I can share my flyers and brochure in the chatting.
Please do.
Maybe some, yeah. And that's it. This is all thing I have it. I want to take. Yeah, I will do the sharing all my information here. If any question, I can help them for that. All my information. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. And thank you, Jason. And what I will say is if you have more and more service providers, sorry, 1 second, mute. If we have more and more service providers that are offering services in the languages that are hard for us to find support for, please have
Exactly.
please have them come to get spotlighted at Coffee with Community Services, because we have a lot of service coordination. You know, we got our managers on here as well, and we certainly hear about the need. And it's
Yeah.
really hard to provide personalized, individualized services if you don't speak the same language as the client and their family. So thanks,
Yeah.
I appreciate it. And you're going to throw your information in the chat for us. Oh, you did.
Yeah, I'm already
Perfect.
did. Yeah, I sent it the brochure, and I was typing also.
Excellent. So anyone
Thank you
has any
so much.
questions, you're very welcome. Please don't hesitate to reach out to them.
Thank you,
Excellent.
thank you.
All right. I am going to, and I thank you. I saw that Pride put a note in there about what folks had done for DSP Recognition Week. And I know I certainly saw people posting things on their social media as well. But I think it's just for us at the Regional Center, over the last couple of years, we've really tried to focus on a lot of the workforce initiatives, and really trying to ensure that you have all the staff that you possibly can have, and that they are as best trained as possible too. And we've pushed forth a number of initiatives, both our own things like the DSP Collaborative, and the statewide initiatives. That's why you guys hear from Michelle Duchesne every week talking about the DSP stipends, the trainings, making sure that we're able to get those dollars into the pockets of our DSPs. But again, I will just say, on behalf of our regional center, that we certainly recognize the success of our service system depends on the ability to have high quality direct support professionals, and we know that the wages have significantly not kept up with what the amount of respect we should have for that position, for what they are responsible for. And so I say that as we're on the precipice of hopefully having some additional rate increases for a number of different service providers with the implementation of the rate study. But I can't say enough about my thoughts on the importance of direct support professionals. And I appreciate all of you that have served as a direct support professional, and all the ones that are working for all of your agencies right now. With that, I do want to just provide a little bit more information about the rate study implementation, and because not everyone attends every week, and I want to make sure that we've got updated information for folks. So I'm going to share my screen real quickly and just go to DDS's website so people can see where the information is kept. And so this is now the front page. They've moved a few things around on DDS's website. So rate reform is right here. And this is where you will find all of the information, the directives, the rate models. I do want to share with folks, in order to understand this, I think it's very important to look at what the rate models are and understand them. And so you can find Alta's rate models for all the different service codes right in here. Now, let's see what I was looking at last. Transportation, surprise, surprise. Now, as it relates to, hopefully I can go back to that. Yeah, the complete models by regional center. We do not have the updated information yet. I'll just stop sharing my screen real quickly. So we do not have the updated information for the directives yet. We know that they are still working on finalizing, for those of you that are transportation providers, they're still looking at finalizing the transportation procedures, directive as it relates to it. And so, and we know that that's supposed to be one of the first ones that they get out. So that's in essence the update that we have. I know, Michelle, I'm going to just navigate to the provider directory thing, and I think the only update that we have is the next week date, right?
Correct. Yeah, the provider directory will go live on Monday. So all providers should receive an email with their unique identification information for them to log in and verify information.
Okay, so again, this is going to DDS's website, and they've got the service provider information right there. They should have gotten all of the information correct since these activities have begun. We've been doing a lot of validating of the information. We've been doing a lot of the grooming of some of the data that was transferred between the systems. So please respond when you get contacted by any of these emails for this, or if people reach out to you. again, in order to get the final 10% of your rate increase for the the full implementation of the rate study, in January, you will have to participate with the provider directory. So, is there any questions about that? I'll go over to the chat and see. Okay, no questions about that. And let's see here. And I want to go over to, I'm going to share my screen again real quickly because we got some upcoming events to talk about. So on the front page of Alta's website, I'll start at the front page of Alta's website. Last week we talked to you about AB 3291, which is Alta's, we had our pilot of the Coordinated Future Planning Initiative, which we're continuing with. And this language in AB 3291, it requires a discussion of caregiver succession planning at individual program plan meetings for adult clients living with family members. And it also authorizes the regional centers to support the housing costs for individuals receiving supported living services. And this bill went in front of the governor on September 11th at 4 p.m. And so between now and the end of the calendar, end of September is when he has to either sign it or to veto it. It has received unanimous support all throughout the Assembly and the Senate. It's got the support of all the major advocacy groups in the state. And if any of you service providers are interested, we would really appreciate it if you'd hop on Governor Newsom's awesome gov.ca.gov website and drop a comment about it. And I'll show you how to do it. Click on an active bill and you scroll down, scroll down to, and it's going to be the last one on here under the ABs, and that means it's an assembly bill. And you say that you're still scrolling, so don't give up. I guess you can scroll faster on the side here. Lots of bills. And you get down to the correct one, AB 3291. This is my second time doing this. It takes a little while to scroll that. And then you want to leave a comment, you hit next, and then you make sure, if you are interested in doing this, that you write down that it is a pro, that we should be doing this, and then you can leave a little message and hit next, and then it'll go directly to the governor. Additionally, it can also be done by mail or phone, but this is the easiest way. So we are encouraging folks to sign on to this. If you read the legislature's analysis about this, they talk about our Coordinated Future Planning Initiative and the task force that we had here of clients and family members to support the work that we did. And so just want to encourage folks to check out our website, and if you get an opportunity, to click on that. And the other thing I would like to do is go over to the events calendar, because we have some vendor forums and other things coming up. Well, and in line with what we just got done talking about, the state council is interested in folks that could support the development of a new bill for next year. And so there on our webpage there, you can reach out to the state council. I also saw that the state council is hiring for their new deputy director over, I think, policy, the person that works on that stuff. So if those of you are interested in maybe working at that level, I believe state council has a new open position related to that too. You can see some of the upcoming events that have happened. We've had supported decision-making training that has been going. Michelle Johnson, what is supported decision-making training? Would you be able to share what that is? Since I saw you pop on there and I love putting you on the spot. Because Jennifer took a drink, so she didn't get called on.
Hi, everybody. It is a process that allows adults with disabilities to make choices about their own lives using identifying some supporters to help them make those decisions in their, chosen life areas. So we have a training coming up for clients and families on Tuesday, this coming Tuesday, September 17th. And hope you all are registered. We have a subsequent training on October the 15th for our community. So hopefully you guys are registered for that October 15th. Of course, you're welcome to come to the client family one too. So anyway, yes, that's coming up.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Certainly coming out of working for years with the clients in the developmental centers, the discussions of conservatorships and life changes, and I supported decision making was kind of what I learned about as soon as I came to Alta, ingrained in me that, you know, we should really be looking at that as the first option when it comes to supporting individuals. And so I appreciate that we're getting the training going, and I put the link there in the chat if you guys know any clients or families that are, you know, wondering about this for the future. Possibly this would be a great opportunity to give them another opportunity to think of something outside of a straight conservatorship. So thank you very much, Michelle. I know you guys have all been working really hard on getting the materials together and doing these trainings. Let's see, more training opportunities, informational webinars, health and safety.
John?
Oh, sorry, go ahead, Jennifer. Yes, please.
Hi, could you go back to the turning 3 years old, please?
Yes, I absolutely can.
I know that this is not our primary audience of early start peeps, but
It's all
someone
good.
here might know someone who has a child served, who is transitioning from early start services to children's services. So that would mean, for those of you who are not familiar, children who are primarily receiving their speech, occupational therapy, development services all through the regional center, through our early start program. Those services end at age 3, and we transition children to the school district at their 3rd birthday. And this training is put on by our education support manager, Christine Gamberg, and Tara, who is our special education specialist. They are very knowledgeable about all things school district related. So this Turning 3 webinar would be appropriate for anyone with a child, I would say 2 years old, 3 years old, and 4 years old, just really learning about what to expect. We're asking that people register. We have this flyer available in multiple languages, as you'll see if you click on that link, and also can provide translation services during the meeting. So we hope that if you know somebody, you spread the word.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
Mhm.
All right, and let me see. I think I want to go to the calendar. There we go. So upcoming things, you can see here on the calendar. I do want to just focus on, we do have residential vendor forum in person from 10 to 11 on September 17th. And so I'll pop in, I think, and try to say hi to you guys. I have another meeting at that same time, but, and then, yeah, so just recognize we have independent living services next month. We're still awaiting the information from DDS, so we can't share any new directives with anyone at vendor forums at this time. Let's see, Michelle, Jordan, Scott, Helen, anything we missed?
I don't think so.
No?
Don't think so.
All right.
Nope.
Well,
I would
and
just add, John, for
yes,
our
go ahead.
providers with the provider directory, just make sure that you guys check your email, because when we're approving and looking at that, we're really going to have to connect with your specialist for things that might need to be updated or edited on your program design. So just keep an eye out for those emails from your specialist as needed.
Awesome. And then I will throw it over to see if Camelia or Jennifer or Michelle have anything.
I don't have anything today, John. Thank you.
Right on.
Nothing more from me.
All right. Well, and thank you again, everyone, for joining us today. I will say that you know, we certainly enjoy getting these guest presentations and learning about these new companies that are working with us. So thank you for the spotlights, and please reach out to Jason if you're interested in having your company spotlighted. And Aleja has been vendoring people like crazy. I cannot believe how many new vendorizations I am seeing her doing. So maybe we got to get some of those vendors on here to do some spotlights as well. So thank you all. I hope you have a great weekend, and we'll look forward to talking to folks next week. Take care.